A correspondent of the Punch newspaper in Delta State, Mathew Ochei. Photo. Dele Ogunyemi. The Delta State government has condoled with the family of the late state correspondent of Punch newspapers, Mathew Ochei. The government also sympathized with the Ukunzu community in Aniocha North local government area of the state over the passing of the 43-year-old journalist. Ochei, who also served as the vice chairman of the Asaba Correspondents Chapel of the Nigeria Union of Journalists, died in the early hours of Tuesday after a brief illness. The State Commissioner for Works, Rural Roads, and Public Information, Charles Aniagwu, and the Chief Press Secretary to the Governor, Sir Festus Ahon, on Tuesday paid a condolence visit to the family of the journalist. The delegation was received at the Okwe family residence in Oshimili South LGA by the widow of the deceased, Mrs. Uche Ochei, alongside other family members. Speaking during the visit, Aniagwu said the state government received the news of Ochei's demise with shock and deep sadness, describing it as a painful loss to the media profession and the state at large. He noted that the late journalist was a dedicated, hardworking, and principled professional who discharged his duties with diligence and integrity. According to him, Ochei's contributions to the growth of journalism and his objective reportage of issues affecting Delta State and Nigeria would be fondly remembered. Mathew Ochei was a committed journalist whose work reflected a passion for truth, fairness, and public interest. His passing has created a void, not only in his family but also in the media community and the state, Aniagwu said. He urged the family, especially the widow, to be strong for their young children and take solace in the fact that the journalist lived a purposeful life and left behind a legacy of professionalism and service, adding that the government shares in their grief at this difficult time. Responding on behalf of the family, Mrs. Ochei expressed gratitude to the government for identifying with them in their moment of grief, noting that the visit was a source of comfort and encouragement. In the same vein, the Delta State Commissioner for Special Duties in the Government House, Drive. Ifeanyi Osuoza noted that Ochei was a committed journalist and unionist whose professionalism, courage, and dedication to the ideals of ethical journalism earned him the respect of colleagues and stakeholders alike. I extend my deepest condolences to the NUJ, Delta State Council, the Correspondents Chapel, and the entire management and staff of Punch newspapers on the painful passing of Comrade Mathew Ochei. At this moment of profound grief, I share in your sorrow and pray that God Almighty grants the NUJ family, his colleagues at Punch, friends, and loved ones the strength to bear this irreparable loss. May the soul of Comrade Mathew Ochei rest in perfect peace, and may his legacy continue to inspire the journalism profession, the commissioner wrote. On his part, the Speaker of the Delta State House of Assembly, Imomotimi Guwar, described Ochei's death as shocking, painful, and a great loss not only to his immediate family but also to the journalism profession, the Ukunzu community, and beyond. In a statement by his chief press secretary, Ochei, made available to newsmen in Warri on Wednesday, the speaker condoled with the Delta State Council of the NUJ, the Asaba Correspondents Chapel of the Union, Punch newspapers, and the entire media community over the death of Ochei. Guwar acknowledged the significant contributions Ochei made to the profession and society at large, noting that the sudden demise had created a void that would be difficult to fill, especially within the Delta media landscape, where he was widely valued. On behalf of the Delta State House of Assembly, my colleagues and I mourn the untimely demise of Mr. Mathew Ochei, a dedicated journalist and a true professional. Our thoughts and prayers are with the Ochei family, the Ukunzu community, the Delta State NUJ, and all those affected by this tragic loss, Guwar said.